What up, what up, what up?
Why? Bro, you lost. Stop. What's wrong with you, man?
This could be us, but you homophobic.
Get him from home.
Them niggas look too happy.
Them niggas look elated.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Cultivated Ignorance. I am Will, the host.
I am Mike, the favorite host.
Lies.
Y'all welcome for that.
This week we got another dope show lined up for you.
No, here he go with the gross vocals.
This week we gonna be talking about Joe Budden fucking up.
Bruh, just the whole bag. just throwing it all over.
According to Joe, he don't need them niggas.
According, is he still going right now?
Yeah, with them two stand-ins, Ish and I don't know what the other
yeah, we don't
name is.
even know the name.
Fake Maul and Fake Rory. We're gonna be talking about that, and we're also gonna be talking about the protection of Black women.
Yes,
One of Mike's favorite subjects.
Absolutely.
We're actually gonna be talking about what that means because I guess there's a lot of different definitions.
And if it actually is what Black women actually want in terms of what they say they want, is it actually protection of what they want?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Do they?
But yeah, man, gonna be talking about those things. We're gonna chop it up a little bit. But first, if you haven't joined our Patreon,
Do it now.
ooh, the snap is, hold up. Patreon.com/cultivated ignorance.
Why do you torture people's ears with this grossness?
Join us. It's only $5 a month.
Only $5.
My man. Only $5. We got dope shit on there, exclusive content that you'll never see on the book.
Never. OnlyFans. Cultivated Ignorance. OnlyFans coming up next.
We got some dope shit lined up.
Yes.
Exclusive interviews. We're also gonna be doing a little more TV reviews.
Yeah, because we'll be fucking that up.
No, I haven't.
You watch on WandaVision? Exactly. Thank you.
I watched the one that features the Black man in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Don't get me started on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Did you hear that monologue at the end? Oh my God, I was proud to be a Black American.
You was like, you had the one tear coming out your eye when he was talking.
So he was saying, I was just like the old Black dude.
Oh yeah.
This country finally recognized me.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But yeah, man, check us out. Patreon.com/cultivated ignorance.
Yes. Lit stuff.
So if you've been hiding under a rock, Joe Budden recently fired his two co-hosts, Rory and Maul, over what appeared to be some shit that was his fault.
Yo, just trying to get the books, man. Just trying to get some information. He was like, nah, fired. Get out of here.
This is why you really, really think about what you're doing when you go in business with friends.
Especially if your friend is Joe Budden.
Michael Murray.
What? The best thing you could ever do in your life.
The look at Joe Budden's face is just.
He just looks like a fuck nigga.
Like, I know I fucked up, but I ain't gonna admit it though.
I ain't about to apologize.
Yeah, man. So they had a huge falling out. They had a falling out. They took some time off. Everybody regrouped. They had 2 more episodes, and that shit was.
I was gonna say, I heard the episodes were really awkward.
They were very awkward, especially that first one back. Yeah.
What happened? They just
bro. So like they all kind of like pity patted around what the truth was.
Mm.
And they said, yeah, man, we went to Joe's house, had a 5-hour little chop it up session.
Mm-hmm.
We got our issues resolved. And then throughout the course of the show, you could tell like the issues were not fucking resolved whatsoever. Them niggas was going back and forth. Roy was like, such and such, this happened. Joe was like, but this happened. That shit was.
I'm gonna take all the fault here,
bro. That shit was terrible. And then a couple episodes later,
with the paper, man. They can hear it on the shit.
A couple episodes later, Joe fired him publicly on air,
just in the messiest way possible.
I wouldn't do that in business nor to friends. Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah. So,
what was your general thoughts on whose fault it was? Well, we know whose fault it was. Like how it could have been handled better.
You could have not fired them on air. You could have not had their replacements stand in for them.
That shit is wild.
Yeah.
Me. Like these supposed to be your friends. You just straight up was like, I'm gonna find somebody else to just do it. It was like a nigga.
It was a straight
broke up with his lady.
It was a straight business move. Like,
was it straight business or just straight pity or both?
It was both.
It felt like somebody just breaking up with a girlfriend and then bringing a new girl to like the same club they know their girlfriend hang out at, just so they could like I moved on.
Yeah,
shit was gross, man.
But hey, man, I guess that's what you get when like some street dude or anybody who doesn't know how to handle business, gets a business.
Do you feel like though, like Rory and Mal took proper accountability of them overlooking the very clear red flags along the way of?
At the end, yeah, because I think they acknowledged that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of them being naive, and I guess them just having some like just thoughts that Joe would never do that.
Just brushing,
just brushing stuff off just because of the fact that he's your friend.
Yeah,
I mean, I do that with you now.
I do no wrong as a friend, zero wrong.
But it was a shame to see it go down. And I think the show is going to suffer for it drastically.
I haven't heard anyone talk about these news episodes that'll come out.
Bro, because the other dudes are just, they don't have no personality. Like Rory and Mal didn't say much, but like you felt their presence. You know what I mean? Yeah. These other two niggas are stand-ins. You remember like when they would have like Cleveland on the damn Family Guy show?
Oh, he was having a whole episode to himself?
Yeah, it was like, what is this? Like, what is this? So
gross.
I don't know, man. It won't be a good result. That's all I know.
So you see the end of the Joe Budden podcast is coming soon.
I see viewership going down drastically. All that little gas Joe had about himself is like him being the draw.
Yeah.
From coming from, what was that show on Complex?
Oh, Everyday Struggle.
Yeah, Everyday Struggle. He was gassed up.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And then he brought it over to his own podcast.
No, you're right.
But I mean, like, based off what Rory and Mal said, the show it had a fan base because of how popular Joe already was.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't like pop until Rory and Mal really got active and engaged with it.
Rory said that. He said like he felt like Joe, and this is so funny because they actually used to clown him about his washed rap career on the show all the time.
Yeah.
He talked about how he would be standing with Joe, and Joe was talking about how they had crowds for the live shows, like crowds around the corner.
Yeah.
And Joe would be like, "Look at all these people here to see me. Look at all these people here to see me."
Oh yeah, nigga Mal was
just like, nigga, what? They're here to see us, fam. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, just putting it off, like in your head. Like, you see these clear red flags, and this is what makes me feel like they kept saying it wasn't about the money. I don't think it was solely about the money.
I think it was the transparency that was really the transparency about the money.
Yeah. I think, but I'm saying the reason they just kind of ignored the red flags, I think it's partially because of the money was so
lucrative.
Yeah,
I can see that.
And I think they were trying to kind of deny that. And it's like, you can be honest, man. Like, it's like we've all been victim to that. Like, when shit just feels good, when you see the benefits of what you're doing, like we all be ignoring red flags that we should have been called attention to, especially if you're not getting the proper accounting that you're supposed to get. Apparently, he was getting these play Excel spreadsheets of the percentages.
Some shit in Google Docs. Anybody could do.
It was a doc that we do. He just uploaded it in a little Word document. It's like, here y'all go. This is how much I made.
Exactly.
So So the main reason I want to talk about this is, do you think? Because I think that this is more telling of more than anything is Joe. I mean, I don't think this is all. Much of it is his fault, but
yeah,
Joe is Joe. Like he's always been Joe. I don't really know him to ever fake being a good person or a better person than he actually is. I should say.
Yeah,
he has been very clear about he burns bridges. If he falls out with you, that's it.
Doesn't respect contracts.
Does not respect contracts. Doesn't respect long-term friendships. I never forget that Hot 97 episode show where him and Rosenberg were talking. Do you remember this?
Not really.
He, him and Rosenberg go way back. Like Joe, when Joe was dead broke, like Rosenberg really helped him out a lot. And like they had an episode where they were just like, "Yo, man, like we friends. Like I just gotta tell you, like, the shit you doing is just hurtful right now. Like you just acting like we ain't known each other for like over 10 years."
Yeah.
And Joe was like, "Nigga, I mean, if your feelings hurt, then all right, I guess it's done then." Like he walked off the show. Like he's been very clear about that, and it's very telling of how a lot of people, I call it LLC Twitter, just assume that like we as Black people just got to get LLCs, we just got to start a business and everything will be fixed. But we're not taking into account like being broke is more so a mentality than a financial status, in my opinion. Like you can't just give somebody a bunch of money and expect them to turn into a better person.
Oh yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And I wonder if this will make people look at the situation and be like, yeah, Joe's shown like this pattern of behavior forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, should we be focused more on like making sure people are in the proper mind state to own a business versus just telling people just go out and buy LLCs with your stimulus money? Like, would this make people more nuanced with the discussion around starting a business in Black communities?
No.
You don't think it'll help at all?
No, I don't think people are even connected to.
You might be right.
I don't think people are connected to it all. Hopefully it helps people see what it takes to be a boss, like to be a business owner.
Right.
But people are not going to, I mean, let's be honest. Like, they're going to be like, oh, damn, the podcast fell apart. They ain't going to get nothing else.
That was an isolated issue that will never happen to anybody else.
Right? Like, oh my God, you don't have to manage any personalities. You don't have to, you just start the business. It'll be profitable.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro. People are not even going to connect it. And I hope you're not thinking that they will.
I got hope.
Stop being hopeful. Stop being hopeful.
I'm hoping that people, because the best thing about this level of transparency in media now is we get to vividly see celebrities' mistakes. Whereas before, it would have to be like a complete crash and burn before we actually knew what happened. Now it's like you can see the downward spiral as it's happening. So like my hope is that people see these things, take them in like, that's interesting. Let me like reconsider what everything I've been spewing, everything I just kind of get from these random memes, these little quick videos of somebody talking super fast about how to start business overnight. Yeah. And my hope is that people like actually watch these things and be like, yo, maybe we should be talking about this a little bit deeper than we have been.
People are going to get from this that, damn, Joe fucked over his friends. And that's it. Damn, the podcast falling apart.
You might be right, man. That sucks. I had hope. Any other thoughts on
Joe's a piece of shit? Like, what you mean?
I would say I do want people to just. Okay. That's what we got a platform for, right? I would say use this as an opportunity to learn, y'all. Like, if someone is doing fucked up things in their personal friendships, and if you do come into the business, Michelle said, what did you miss? We talking about Joe Budden podcast and how Joe fucked up the bag. If someone's not only showing that shadiness in personal relationships, but also in business, like, please do not just assume that once y'all get a bunch of money, once y'all do that, get the LLC, once you get this platform established, once you start getting fans, that people will suddenly just act right. Because, like, it happens way too often for it to be a thing at this point. I feel like.
Well, that's why you own your own business by yourself.
I do. I do.
You don't work with nobody.
That's very true. See, I work with people in partnership.
Yeah.
Like, cause that's the thing. Like, we gotta. And Kimberly, for Harriet, put this perfectly. Like, people sensationalize. I'm gonna keep referencing her the whole podcast.
I know you are.
That's my channel, bro. That's my channel. She was yelling at Will on some video that he was watching. He got mad. You didn't hear the message she was trying to tell you.
I did hear the message.
You agree with it?
No.
See, you just hate women. So
what? What?
That's where we're going with it. So no, she talked about like how people sensationalize being the boss. Like being the boss is not exactly fun. Like doing like the actual work, that not in his head. The actual like work to be a boss, quote unquote, to be responsible for people's paychecks, make sure nobody gets hurt on your watch or on your set, under your contracts, whatever. Like that shit is not fun, man. Getting lawyered up to protect yourself, that shit is not fun. As someone who works for artists, shit is not always fun. Like that's about to go crazy. Like I'm just saying, like realize what y'all getting into before y'all jumping this thing head first. So money doesn't change people; it allows them to be more of the true selves. I agree with that.
Who said that?
Centaur Views. I don't know if that's Trey.
I'm about to say they saw the Rory and Maul shit because that's exactly what they said.
You're
quoting this shit.
You just copy and paste the comment.
Yeah.
I'm giving him props. Man, get out of here. Yeah, man. So that's that.
Anyway, we'll see how long. All right, how long you give the Joe Budden podcast to lose like serious viewership?
Listen, as somebody who never has sat through a whole episode because it's just too much, especially now, I definitely don't give it much time. I see Joe doing something else, or maybe just sitting back and just...
Well, I think during the episode after Rory and Maul came, had their little response. Mm-hmm. I think he said he was starting his own radio show or something like that. So the podcast.
Joe Budden said that?
Yeah.
His own, like him by himself?
I think so. I don't know the ins and outs, but
no parts of that.
Can you imagine riding in the morning, 8:00 in the morning? Yo, what's up, man? Like just loud.
Just ranting about some random shit.
Just ranting like.
But still, it's at 3 months tops. That
might be right. I was gonna give it 6 before it loses like serious viewership and goes to those everyday struggle numbers after he loses.
Right. What about a Rory and Maul podcast? Are you listening to that?
I probably would.
Really?
I actually would, because them niggas never talk. Like,
it would be interesting to see them like be cut loose,
especially if Maul like just tells stories.
Yeah,
that's a New York nigga.
That is Harlem, and it's true. He's from Harlem, right?
I think so.
I think somewhere in New York.
Yeah,
in its truest form.
His brother started Rockefeller or something like that. Helped start Rockefeller.
Something like that, yeah.
So, yeah, that shit will be entertaining. I think Rory's gonna be good too. They all gonna be good, just not together, obviously.
It sucks, man, but
it is what it is.
We'll see, y'all. In case you say she actually thinks Joe Budden's an intelligent man.
Who said that?
In case you said that. I don't know if I
opinionated.
I think somebody said he sounds like a smart person to people who don't really know what he's talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so I think this is like one of the keys. Like when somebody has a platform and they're extremely opinionated, people take it for intelligence. I'm not saying that's your situation.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like especially when there's nobody to argue against the things that you're saying,
right? People
take it as gospel,
and you can say it like extremely passionately.
Yeah,
we say it about Dave Chappelle all the time.
Yeah,
like you can say it's super charismatic. You can, just super passionate. And you yelling and shit like that, and everybody's just quiet. Like, you sound like you
speaking truth.
I don't know. All right, so next topic. You want to introduce yourself?
No, this is you, baby.
All right, so. I had a question I put on the Facebook status and everything. Got some good answers. Thank y'all for the input. But I'm gonna start it like this. Let's start by asking you a question. When you hear the words "Black men must protect Black women," what exactly do you think that means? And do you feel like it's your responsibility to uphold that?
When I hear that phrase, "Black men must protect Black women," I feel like almost like, how am I wording this? Oh. I don't know, man. I feel like there are like hours to protect, like specifically hours. Like we, in some ways, I don't want to say possess because that feels fucked up.
You're gonna get to that part.
But yeah, man, just like since they are considered at the bottom of society, it's our job to bring them up, not our job to hold them back anymore by these patriarchal standards and bounds, like based off of beauty, their looks, what we think they should be doing, gender roles, whatever. Like when I hear that, I think of helping them be their most free self.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Do you feel like they owe you anything in return for that? helping that sense of protection that you would provide?
I mean, if I'm supposed to be helping them be their most free self, then no. But
do you think most men feel like that's the question?
No. No. But at the same time, I'm not even saying that I subscribe to my own definition of protect Black women. That's just how I define it. You know what I mean? Like if somebody was to say that, like that's what I would assume. That's what I would believe that is.
Right.
But I feel like if I'm going to help you be your most free self or whatever, then I should be getting something in return. You know what I mean? But I don't feel like I'm owed that. So I'm not going to do that. If you get what I'm saying.
You say you're not going to fulfill that thing that you just defined?
Yes. So
you don't feel like you're just going to do whatever you feel like doing whenever you see a Black woman says protect Black women?
Yeah, I'm going to stand up for a Black woman when I feel necessary. I'm not going to fulfill this whole spectrum of what I believe protect Black women is.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
It's not the least problematic thing in the world.
I was gonna say I can see why it wouldn't. In case you said that, you see that's the problem. If you can expand on that, that'd be great. See, that's partly why I don't even use that verbiage in the first place, because the whole thought of protecting women in this historical sense, in this traditional sense, for me, I've seen that. I feel like it's always been associated with the possession of women. And like I said, we're gonna get to that part next. But like I've always said, like I just want to do the best I can by Black women by any means necessary. So that can be like if I have extra money. Like you can't do call-ins right now. You have to just do it in the comments. I'm sorry. If that means like if I have extra money and like I know a Black woman needs money, or I just want to treat Black women to something to eat, or just give them some extra money. That means like if I'm in the club somewhere and I see a Black woman being assaulted or harassed, like I can't just sit there and just not say anything. But like to say, like to put on this whole cape of like I protect Black women, I feel like that's ties into this, like I said, this historical sense of like Black women belong to us, so they're our duty to protect.
Yeah.
And I question if that's what really Black women really want. You know what I'm saying?
And is that, I mean, besides the fact, is that what they really want? Is that what's best for Black women, even from a male's perspective? Is it best for Black people as a whole to have that kind of ideology? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So shout out to what's her name, Demi. So this is another For Harriet thing.
God, you killed it.
Look, I'm on the Patreon.
Get a different perspective, man.
I got my own perspective. This helps me.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I absolutely.
You
do.
are For Harriet.
I am For Harriet. No, we had a group community discussion, and I was talking to Kim and some other women, and this woman named Demi had shared this essay. Definitely recommend y'all read this. If you don't find it, I'd be glad to send it to you. It's an essay called "Ironies of the Saint" by this woman named, what was her name? Jasmine Griffin, that talked about how Malcolm X historically always viewed the protection of Black women through the lens of possessing Black women, and how, just like much of the Nation of Islam itself, whenever they talked about protecting Black women, it wasn't so much about Black women being protected as Black men's masculinity being secured by their ability to protect Black women. So it just damn near was like, wasn't actually about Black women. It was more so about like, if I'm a Black man and Black women are saying like Black men ain't shit, or I'm not being protected, like what does that say about me?
It was helping to define their power.
Right. And I think like, I don't know if that's yeah, I don't know. Cause that's where hypermasculinity shit comes in. Like that's where that whole alpha male shit comes in. That's where that whole conflation of protector and provider, the man that can do all these things, comes in. And I question if Black men even have the like resources to actually even do this stuff on that level that is like, I guess, the utopian way of thinking that it would be. Do we have the access and the resources to even do that, provide that in the first place?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Let me read this. You know what it is, and recognize the privilege. Oh God.
Great job.
Recognize the privilege or advantage that you have as a Black man, and why you feel it's what Black men should do. You acknowledge that you don't do it. I think she was talking about what you were saying, how you define protection, but you said you're not living up to that standard.
Right, because I feel like if I did that, I would feel like I am owed something. Like if I'm in a word, like putting on the cape for you or going out here and doing stuff for Black women, I feel like I would have some kind of, I don't want to say ownership, but some kind of right to Black women or some kind of feeling of possession.
That's what, okay.
Which is not something I don't feel like I'm entitled to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so in that aspect, I feel like I should just treat everybody good in a sense. You know, want the best for everybody. But yeah, man, like that's I just feel like it leads us down like a slippery slope when you use the term protect Black women. Because it also means like, why do Black women, I guess, need protection? That's another question we gotta ask. Why do we feel the need to have this catchphrase or this kind of mantra that we should go by? Is it because we feel like they're weak, unprotected? You know what I mean? I think we should dive deeper into why we think Black women need protection.
I think that's a deeper question, but I think a universal understood truth for those who deem themselves progressive anyway is that Black women seem the most vulnerable to violence in this society. Like they're deemed at the bottom of the totem pole. So it's like they're the ones that need protecting the most.
Right. But I guess, are you protecting everybody equally, or are you protecting Black women to a higher standard?
I think it has to be the latter, because it's more about equity in that you can't treat everybody the same. Like you would not protect white men the same way you would protect Black women, right?
Fuck no.
Yeah, like
them niggas are all right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's more so about equity. Like you have to do a little bit more for this other party who is extremely marginalized. Well, marginalized compared to this other party who, I think, you know, working class white men sure are oppressed in certain ways, whatever. But like, yeah, you wouldn't treat that the same way. I'm trying not to be like dismissive, because I know, like, you know, how race is used as a social construct. Like it is made to make regular white people feel more empowered than they actually are. I understand that, but at the same time, like, y'all niggas is not in the same situation as Black women. So it's like, so you already alluded to this question. Can there be someone who is charged with a sense of protecting something without also, or someone also feeling like they possess that person or thing? Is there anything in life that you can think of that you feel like you have to protect that you don't also possess?
Not me, but I feel like people do it with animals. Certain people, certain races do it with animals. Like white people put on the cape for dogs and cats and all that other bullshit.
They own the fuck out of animals. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Animals that they don't own. Animals.
No, even animals that's in the quote unquote wild, like they take it upon themselves to capture footage of animals, to put them, like, finagle them into certain situations so they can get certain things. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. Not me personally. I can't think of anything in my life or in my situations that I come across that I would protect that I don't feel like I have a certain amount of possession over.
I don't know if it's human nature for anybody to feel like I can't write it. If y'all can think of an answer in the chat, please, by all means, give it.
Oh, they're going in on me.
I want to get you bogged down in the comments. Your phone, your child, your mom, your dad, your glasses. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to catch up. I might have to catch up to the comments at the end of the show, y'all. I don't want to miss these. I definitely want to engage with y'all. Michelle said, we show up for y'all. It's no questions asked, but we don't care. We don't care who, what, when, where. But for us, is y'all got to know the whole story. I think that varies from person to person. I think, well, I can say for myself, I have Black women in my life who I know would show up for me. and I know I would show up for them no matter what, for sure. I don't think all black people show up for all black people in general, though, whether it be men or women, because we know the saying like all skin folk ain't kin folk, right? Like there are some, just like there are some black men out there, there are some black women out there that don't really care about black men's lives. Like you look at Candace Owens, don't care nothing about throwing black men under the bus for some dollars. You know what I'm saying? I think for the most part, yeah, black women, if I say generally speaking, yeah, for sure, show up for a way and for black men that we don't show up for black women, absolutely. And I think that's mostly because of patriarchy and sexism. But I wouldn't accept it as a universal truth that like every black woman feels the same way, because unfortunately, I wish it was that way. I wish all black men and all black women felt the same way about each other, and we wouldn't even have this discussion in the first place. But yeah, I don't know if there's a sense of protecting something or someone without feeling like you also own that person. And so I was questioning if we should shift the conversation towards, should we more black men be in charge of having more mindfulness when it comes to black women, more empathy, more self-accountability, more than anything, for sure. Holding each other accountable, all those things, more so than we talking about protecting. Just to make it more clear as far as, because like I said, not everybody defines protection the same way.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, but am I just being nitpicky or?
No, I mean, I think that's a good road to go down, because I mean, when you're more empathetic to somebody, you are more, I guess, quick to see the harm done to someone, you know, versus just protect black women.
That's what I'm saying.
This is so broad. Like,
that's what I'm saying. And okay, I want to say this one point too, though. Not only is it broad, right? I feel like how men have been traditionally socialized. When we already alluded to this, when we feel like we're in charge of protecting you, I think that's where you get all these men who demand women to be submissive and all this shit and feed our egos. I've heard niggas scream on women about being too independent, being too outspoken, because you're emasculating the dude. And how can I protect you if you
how can I protect you when you talk to him like you was a nigga?
Well, you set up for yourself. Like, if y'all ever read Malcolm X's autobiography, he talks about how the Nation of Islam like views women as like weak, fragile. Y'all can't care for yourselves. Like, we got to care for you, because y'all little kids out here.
It's not just the Nation of Islam.
Oh no, it's not. It's not.
It's the fucking world.
I just point that out because that is like maybe one of the best examples of how men put on this cape, this armor, you know, and say like, it's our duty to protect black women because they can't protect themselves.
Yeah.
And anytime you step outside of what we define as femininity, you no longer worth protection. I see that a lot in dudes, and it's gross.
Well, yeah, I can agree. I'm about to say, because I feel like it's fucked up, but I was about to say, I don't see no nigga standing up for no, like, what's the word? Masculine.
You can say masculine.
Masculine women. Hey, you know, like you can think of every negative slur that you've ever heard in your life, and it just keeps hitting you, and you're like, oh, but I dodged it though. I
gotta get out of it. No, can't do it.
Woo. But yeah, like I don't see dudes standing up for them like that, or even thinking about the connection to them being women. It's connected to femininity,
right?
And I guess weakness.
That's
how we define who needs protection in a way.
As a matter of fact, I guess you said like what is the femininity? Who's defining that? It's all performance, man. A lot of shit is performance. And as a matter of fact, people use a woman acting masculine as justification for her getting beat up or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Like you saw the whole shit with Meg Thee Stallion. Everybody was saying, so we don't.
Tori was small.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just decided because she was bigger than him, she must have been talking shit and everything, and she got shot. That's what happens. Like, it's so gross, man. It's mad gross. So, I question, yeah. What was the next thing on there?
I'm still holding out hope Tori didn't do it.
I think he did that shit.
He shot that girl.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I think. I think the conversation should shift towards actually it was a really good. I don't know if we have time to read this. Shout out to Jessica, good friend of the show. She shared this post on the Facebook status that I feel like perfectly defines like what I think most women actually want. It says Black women do not need male protection, Black or otherwise. Historically, Black male protection. Shut up, the fad. Historically, Black male protection has been transactional, and what is given in exchange is controlled. We need those who do harm to us to be held accountable legally, socially, and economically. We need the community to stop protecting those that harm us because their lives and potential outweigh the harm they do to us. We need you to stop being idle when we see someone harming us. We need you to stop assuming we did something to earn or deserve the harm that has come to us. We need you to have the same energy you have for someone who sees, when you see someone harming Black men, we literally just need you to stop harming us. All that human shield bullshit, the infantilism, like the only way we deserve to not be harmed is if a man is claiming ownership or control over us, can go. Literally just stop being a part of the harm. I feel like that should be, I mean, that's a lot of words, but that's the general gist of what women actually want versus the traditional men, super protectors, blocking bullets. Like, well, not that.
I guess, but in the middle of it, it says we need you to stop being idle when you see someone harming us.
Well, I mean,
like it's.
I mean, like when I say blocking bullets, I mean like.
No, I mean I get what you're saying, okay. But I know it's an exaggeration, but it's literally the exact opposite of what she's asking for. Like you're asking. She's asking for all this, I guess, free movement in society and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're saying we need you to stand up for us when someone is harming us.
I think she's asking for both those things. I think she's saying like we can be free moving beings, but like if you see someone, just like you said, like you believe in just doing right by other humans. If you see someone being harmful to a woman, like don't just stand idly by, like step in however way you can, and don't let her just be harmed, and act like it's not your business. I think those both things.
The same way I do a grown man.
I mean, that's fine. I think that's fine. I think that's so you agree that both those things can be true at the same time.
Yes, but if I'm going to stand up for you the same way I stand up for a grown man, it's a good chance I'm not standing up for you.
Well, I don't think you should approach it the same way because, like I said, like women have.
But now you want me to treat them differently.
I never said I didn't. I already said that you have to approach it differently.
Okay. It don't make sense to me.
Which part doesn't make sense?
The very middle of this thing, it says we need you to stop being idle when you see someone harming us. Uh-huh. It's basically saying we need protection.
I think that's a form of protection, sure. Maybe that's mixed in there, sure. But I'm saying I think the main point is we don't need male protection in the traditional sense of like you just being this.
That sentence is the traditional sense.
I don't think the traditional sense is the whole protection with possession thing.
This thing says I want it all. This thing says I want it all.
I mean, I think it doesn't. When you say you want it all, you saying they want the cake and eat it too in terms of like, is this being unrealistic? You think this is being unrealistic? That's what I'm asking.
I think it's unrealistic to want that middle sentence and think it doesn't come with some kind of possession aspect to it.
I mean, that's a legit question. Y'all can let us know in the chat what y'all think. I don't think that's an unfair question. I don't think it has to.
It doesn't have to, it just does. Maybe society's further along.
That's what I think it. Yeah, Michelle said equity versus equality. That's what I'm saying. Like I think if you say, I always say this, I don't believe in just telling anybody that they should do so and so. I do charge men who say that they love women and appreciate women and want things from women, that if you want these things from women, you do have a stake in helping to protect them. I do think that. I do think that is true. You can't, I think it's a lot of men that expect all these things from women, but don't really expect to like actually care for women and make women feel safe.
Well, that's very true.
Yeah. So,
but that woman wanted it all. That's what I got from it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What you say?
That middle sentence kind of throws off the whole argument.
Michelle says, so just call 911. If you don't want to put no body in harm's way, and your body in harm's way, just call the cops. That's still doing something.
Okay, if that's what we define as doing something.
Yeah, I think all that shows that description.
Okay. And maybe this is just me putting on my own thought process on what women want, which is incorrect. But I don't see that step in when someone's doing us harm means call the cops.
I think you are projecting. I think yeah, but I think it's rational because that's what we're socialized as men. We're socialized to believe like if you see a woman in distress, you should just throw your body at you should just throw your body at him and whatever happens as long as you protect that woman. So I get where that comes from.
Okay.
But just know that it doesn't have to be that.
All right. If I see a woman getting her ass beat, I'm gonna call 911.
Okay.
And then 5 minutes later, when she on the ground,
look, man.
I'm just being realistic
about
it.
Do whatever you feel comfortable in the situation. I'm not trying to make you feel shitty about it. I'm saying do whatever you feel comfortable. Because that's another thing. Like I can't say I'm as somebody who's a single person, doesn't have any kids. Like I can't demand all men with families, you know what I'm saying? With responsibilities back home that put your body on the line, put your life on the line at any given moment for somebody. Like I can't just make that call for somebody else. And I don't think guilting somebody into doing that is effective at all. So I say, like I said, if you want these things from women, if you call yourself being for a woman, women's freedom, liberation, all those things, I think you have to live up to that in different ways. But the way you do it doesn't have to be the way I do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, protect Black women. Y'all can keep commenting, man.
Protect people. That don't even sound right.
That don't. It sounds like you just really just all out.
I apologize. That was terrible.
That was super trash. Yeah, definitely comment. I think this just needs more clarity in this conversation. I just don't want to get caught up in the internet shit of people just screaming shit and no one knows what they're talking about. No one knows what they mean. People don't know what they mean. And it's just a bunch of fighting. And Vic said it earlier, the whole conversation is very exhausting at this point because people just be saying the same stuff. Yeah. Should have said the same thing. Blast him, Michelle. He tried. Excuse me. All right, man. Well, I think that's about all we have on that. I guess we get into the third of the week. Who do we have this week? We got the lovely Miss Des Monroe, straight out of Atlanta, Georgia. Victoria's exasperating. That's it. Straight out of Atlanta. She's a singer-songwriter out of ATL. Currently has an album out called 20. And has recently released a single called Showtime. She's definitely like R&B, kind of popish and everything. Why are you looking at other?
No, I'm searching.
You better be.
I'm
looking at other baddies when I'm talking about this baddie. Man, it's out of the studio. All right. we bad cooking. We all cooking.
Let me tell you, when I stand up, my back gonna be dry.
I know. Don't put your hands up because I know it's about to be Sweat Pit City.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's fine as a mug. Very dope, like I said, very talented, very dope, very beautiful. She actually has a show coming up called the Des Monroe Experience. If you've never seen her in person, goes down July 2nd in Georgia. Please go to her Instagram at It's Lady Monroe. You can get tickets in her bio. Very dope individual. I saw her actually more recently on doing a live with my other Thirst of the Week, the other week, Melodic Tones, where they're just talking about life and just dropping gems, like Black women be doing, just being great. Like I said, you can check her out on Instagram at It's Lady Monroe. Check her out on Twitter at Des _ Monroe. And yeah, look at the fineness and the vibes and the singing and all that good stuff. All right, man. Any final thoughts? Nothing.
Cultivated Ignorance will be doing a Clubhouse very soon.
Yes.
Do you want to tell them what it's going to be about?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. We're going to be giving bad relationship advice. That's our goal. That's our only goal. Mike's going to be giving bad relationship advice for women.
Yes.
I'm be giving bad relationship advice for women.
I'm gonna be giving yes. There you go.
Yeah. I'm gonna be giving bad relationship advice to women. Mike's gonna be giving bad relationship advice to men.
There you go. Absolutely. It's gonna be as toxic as possible, unproductive as possible. You might break up with your significant other or side chick
for a little bit.
Yeah, but check us out. What is your name on Clubhouse? You know, you don't even know.
It's Doc Knockers, bro.
It probably is. That's it for everything.
Ooh, Will the Third. I'm a piece of shit.
Look us up on Clubhouse. Will the Third.
Yep.
I am Afro Marxist. Check us out. It's my favorite YouTube channel. I'm not an actual full-blown Marxist, not yet anyway. But yeah, look us up on Clubhouse, follow us, and we'll keep you in tune on that. Yeah, man. We'll see y'all next time. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Peace. Gross. What is that? Damn.
Ooh. That's got stuck in the chamber. All right, do it real quick so I can know.
No, I'm not about to tell you.
All right, I'm gonna search on YouTube Weekend Gun.